another rendition of event planning after dark. So I'm going to give you guys a moment to join in. On last Friday night, we did one and you guys really seemed to enjoy it. So I thought I would share another one with you guys on tonight. So once you join in, just say hello. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our event planning after dark live. My name is Melanie Turner. For those of you guys who are new here, I am the founder and creator of the YouTube channel Living Luxuriously for Less. Hi Dolores, how are you, doll? You guys come on in. We're gonna do a quick event planning after dark because tonight we are in crisis mode and we have a crisis to solve. And I want to kind of walk you guys through how you go about solving different things. Hi, Kimma, that may arise as hi, Luscious L. Hi, Jade and Candace and Rhonda. How are you? If you guys are watching it live, hello. If you're watching the replay, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please take this moment. Hey, Betsy and Alyssa. Hi, Dana's Cottage Life. Hi, Natasha. Go ahead and hit thumbs up. It's 37 of you guys in the room live right now. And if you're on the replay, you guys, please take a moment and just thumbs up this video because you guys are really seeming to love this organic content and I want to continue to bring it to you guys. So hi Wanda, Chanel, hi T, and anybody else that I may have forgotten along the way. So tonight's live is not going to be super long and I'm going to tell you guys why. Oh, Dolores, that pineapple mango is everything. Like I had to stay away. Hi, Nilsa, how are you? So tonight, I want to talk to you guys about event planning after dark and how do you react when you are in a crisis mode. Now, when you're in event planning, event design, or event decor, there are several things. Hello to all of you, Gloria, Sidra, Wanda, everybody that is joined. If I miss calling your name, blame it on my head and not my heart. I love you guys and thank you so much for all of your continuous and unwavering support. I really want to get into tonight's lesson, y'all, because I have to cut it short because I have to go to bed and I will explain all of that to you guys in just a moment. Okay, so here's the deal. If you haven't, just a shameless plug here. If you guys have not seen my last video where I did this whole fall clothing haul, y'all got to go watch it. Some of you guys have asked me to start doing more of the fashion type videos, so definitely go and check it out. I've been missing you too, Donette. Go and check that video out and share it with a friend because I'm really excited about the opportunity that I have to work with Venus and even, clothing hauls and different things like that. It definitely allows me to create more content for you guys and get a lot of the equipment and things that I need so that I can continue to create more behind the scene and, all that type of content. Thank you so much, Justice. Okay. So tonight, let me turn the light on. So here's what's going on. There is I told you guys a while back that there was a flower shortage. And by the grace of God, I have been able to get all the flowers that I need for every event that I've had. Like last week, the event turned out absolutely incredible. We had over, I know, maybe 3,000 or 4,000 roses last week and probably close to 2,000 hydrangeas, if not more. And so we were extremely blessed to be able to navigate through that. You guys remember I had to drive down to Trader Joe's and get the flowers and everything. So this week was a repeat of our last live. And this time I drove down to Trader Joe's and there was not a white rose, a white flower, a pink flower, or a blue flower in sight. Not in sight. So I went to like all of the normal places I normally go to. There were no flowers in sight. Like no red, I mean, no pink, no white, or no blush pink roses in sight. And so I called my wholesaler. Again, they weren't able to get the number of flowers that they typically get. And for this week, I was going to mix silk and live together. And for those of you guys who have taken Lux Academy, you know exactly how we do that. But I couldn't even find the small amount of flowers that I needed in order to do what I needed to do. Now, before I drove to Trader Joe's yesterday, I will say that God warned me in a dream that something, like this was going to happen. I dreamed that I went in a store and it was like a row of white roses, but they all looked, brown on the end. Like basically they were not usable. And, I just had to come up with a different game plan, a different strategy. So a lot of times when we are, planning a wedding or an event and something happens, something doesn't show up, something's not right, happens that is beyond your control, then it is easy for us to like panic or want to call the bride or, want to reach out to someone because we don't want to be seen as a person that wasn't reliable or a person that's not professional or something of that nature. So I want to share with you guys a few tips on what you can do in order to properly handle a crisis, no matter what that crisis may be, when you're planning a wedding or an event. And so one of the first steps that I would recommend you to do is straight from the scripture. And someone who's taking notes, y'all write this down. Number 1, in sudden fear, don't fear. That's the first thing you do in a crisis. In sudden fear, don't fear. So don't allow the spirit of fear to overtake you, because fear is paralyzing. And so once you become fearful, then it'll become really hard for you to think strategically, to think creatively, because you've been paralyzed by fear. And so when a sudden fear, in the case of sudden fear, don't fear, okay? The second thing is be a creative thinker. Think outside of the box. Think about, what other options you may have. And expound on each of those options as much as you can. So, in the case of the flowers, okay, we're at Trader Joe's. I did find some flowers, a few tonight, by the way. Now, the orange flowers that I have here, and the yellow flowers are for my personal, I'm going to do a fall tablescape at home. Excuse me. Excuse me. For those of you guys who may be interested in that, I will be doing a fall tablescape. But for those of you guys who, are interested in more of my event planning content, then I'll be using some of these other things here. But the first thing is you don't want to fear. Then you want to be a creative thinker. So just because you're working on one thing does not mean that you can't be working towards something else. Like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. When I was at Trader Joe's and there were no flowers, then one of my assistant was on the phone with another company looking for flowers and asking them if they had flowers. We were also strategically Googling places that were near us to get flowers. And so you have to work several different angles at one time. Don't feel like, oh, well, I'll wait for this call. And then when that person comes back with a no, then you're frustrated all over again. Like, you need to be working as many angles as you possibly can be working. And then also thinking about what else you can do. So, you know, can you substitute silk flowers for the real flowers? Can you get the real touch flowers? So there we were in the parking lot at Trader Joe's. Across the street was a Michael's. Ran over to Michael's. And guess what? I guess everybody had the same idea we had, because all of the white and pink silk flowers at Michael's and Hobby Lobby and all those places were gone as well. And so I had to really, you know, think creatively, think strategically. You know, this is where building relationships with your customers or your people that you patronize really helps, because that's a good, yes, thank you, Candace. Because what happens is, you know, you can probably be friends with the person who orders the flowers at the grocery store, and they'll call you and tell you, hey, we got some pink roses in, or we got some, you know, blush or white roses in. And even though you just may need a few, that few may save whatever you need, okay? Always have a backup. You can spray paint them. Exactly. You can buy another color. You can spray paint them. You can mix in faux. You know, always, you know, have a backup plan. Another thing is that you want to over prepare. If you over prepare, it will better help you to be a problem solver, an issue resolver during a crisis at an event. So, for example, last week we had a custom dance floor made for this wedding. The wedding was over the top. It was over the top by every stretch of the imagination. However, when the dance floor came in, it was the venue had put down the incorrect size dance floor. Well, this dance floor was custom made for one other size, the other size. And so what happened was we were not able to use that particular, we were not able to use the dance floor. No, these are not my shears. I got some more from Hobby Lobby. The raggedy ones, they're $6.99, but like you use them a couple of times, it's over. If I can find those green shears from Dollar General, I promise you I'm gonna buy about 10 pairs. Yeah, we don't have a Harris Teeter's around us, but even the grocery stores, they don't have as many silk flowers as they used to have because of this shortage. So, but yes, I wish we did. But as I was saying, the dance floor didn't fit. Now, this person paid, a custom dance floor is very expensive, okay? They are very, very, very expensive. And it did not fit because of the venue putting down the wrong size and not having the correct size available. But I didn't panic. I already had a plan B, and that plan B was to have a gobo, a light that would shine so that if anything happened, we would still have something on the dance floor. So you want to make sure that you're over prepared. If I'm using vases, I don't take the exact number of vases that I need. If it's glass, I'm going to always carry one or two more. I'm always going to carry one or two more than what I actually need, because something can break, something can fall, anything can happen. So if you are over prepared, then it will better help you to, you know, put out a major issue when a crisis may arise. Okay? Next up is in the case of a crisis, and let's say you've over prepared, you've done everything, you've exhausted all of your possibilities, everybody came back and said no, and you weren't able to make it through and to make that thing happen, then the next thing you want to do is have at least 3 choices before you present whatever the issue may have been to the client. You want to have at least 3 choices, okay? So if the dance floor didn't come in, okay, cool, it didn't fit. So the first thing is you could try to make the dance floor fit and make some changes to it to see if they like it. The second thing may be that, yeah, the venue did pay for it. The second thing may be that, oh yeah, I did talk to the venue and they are going to cover the cost, so no worries there. You can tell them that. The third thing may be we can rearrange the room to move the dance floor and not have it to be such a focal point. Just different things like that. So you want to make sure you have at least 3 choices to take to your client before you deliver disparaging news. And if it's something that you think the client may not miss, now something like a dance floor is huge, okay? But if it's something that you think the client may not miss, like let's say a wine glass or something, I know, something tiny, then you make that choice to have that discussion before or after the event, okay? So that is another thing that I wanted to point out there as well. So you don't have to have that discussion right away. You can wait and have that discussion later on, because it may not be something you want to carry to your client and ruin their day because you're missing a fork or a knife or a spoon or whatever, So you can make that substitution and then later on, be more transparent with the client. But in this case, of course, the client was going to miss a custom dance floor. So I had to have that conversation with them. And so, oh, you're so welcome. Someone said, they're creative, so they love this. So I'm glad you guys enjoy this. So at any rate, you want to make sure that you have that conversation with the client and, give them the options, the thing that you want to exhaust every possibility before you present anything to them, and never present to them a problem. This is the last and final thing. Never present to the client a problem without a solution. This is the last and final one. I don't know how many points I shared. I hope you guys were keeping up. But never, ever present a problem to your client without a solution. Don't do that. Try to at least have a solution. And, and when you give it to them, they may give you a better solution. Who knows? But you want to be able to have that candid and open conversation with your client so that they don't walk into space and they, be fully disappointed. Now with my client, I had the conversation with her planner. Her planner made the decision not to tell the client. And the client was so enthralled with the overall design that she actually forgot about the dance floor until after the wedding, when I brought the wrap out to her and was explaining to her what happened. So I was very fortunate in that case, but that may not always be the case. And so when you're into planning, you're into designing, you're into decor, you have to expect things to happen. You could be planning an outdoor event like we are tomorrow, and a downpour just started and they're expecting more rain and things like that throughout the night into the day on tomorrow. And so what we're going to do is we've already set up the room where it can be easily flipped into a wedding space as well. And so, yeah. And then another thing is you want to look into the most inconspicuous places where normal people won't go. So people are catching on to like Trader Joe's and all of that right now. But what people aren't catching on to is like Aldi and places like that. So go to places like, that people wouldn't normally go to look for fresh flowers. Dollar General has some fresh flowers. Walmart flowers are fresh, even though they're really expensive, but they do tend to carry some fresh flowers sometimes. So look at places like that as well, so that you can maximize, your ability to find something. Now, fortunately for me, I only needed a few fresh ones to put in her bouquet and a couple of other places. So I'm extremely fortunate to be able to even find white roses at all, because they are nowhere. White, blue, and blush pink or pinks are just about, Sam's and Costco are out. That's done and over with. They're because all of the growers are not, they don't have the flowers. So yes, make friends. Make friends everywhere you go. Everywhere you go. Be polite, you know, be gracious, be thankful, and just be prepared. And don't think that just because a crisis happens, or even if you weren't able to resolve an issue to your standards or to your satisfaction, don't think that it's the end of the world, because it's not. It's not the end of the world. We all make mistakes and nobody is perfect. How do you handle how do you manage well, you know, that's a good question. Like, you know, finding something that is going to be more of a cost to you than what you initially quoted the client. Well, I would, you know, first of all, be transparent with the client. Like, I knew the things were going on with the flower market before now. So I told my clients up front, this price could start at this, but it can very well change to something else, you know, due to what's currently going on in the world with flowers. And fortunately, they understood that. So I'm very transparent with them up front. If it's something that is not going to be detrimental to my business, then 9 times out of 10, I'll just assume that cost, and it's just considered the cost of doing business. So I'll just assume that cost. And then if it's something that's just too far-fetched, then I will you know, probably take that back to the client so that we could troubleshoot together way before their event. Or I would probably have to choose not to work with that particular client if they weren't willing to change their mind about, look at these. This is what I was looking for, like this, I think it's called sand something. It's a beautiful rose. So this is what I was looking for. And these used to be in great abundance before now. But what happened was that a lot of farmers had to destroy their crops because they didn't have people to harvest them and all that sort of thing. And so it's just been something else. I don't really have a preference in terms of silk or real. I will tell you that real flowers, nothing really compares to the fragrance that they give in the room if you choose the right flowers. Because like peonies are gorgeous flowers, but they smell horrible. So I really like, you know, things that have a really good fragrance and that their fragrances blend together well. And you just need to get somebody that really knows flowers and how the smells blend with each other, because you can get some flowers like peonies, baby's breath, like they smell like urine to me. I don't like them, but I like the way they look. So it just depends on your preference, but you just need to know those sort of things, like what flowers make a beautiful, you know, scent together. And that's kind of what you need to be looking at when you are picking your flowers. I like silk flowers too, but they need to look pretty much as close to real as possible. But both of them are honestly work. So that's that. But tonight is a lot quicker. I processed some already at the venue today with my team, and then these, so that was a lot quicker. Some beautiful flowers. I love the vibrant oranges and yellows. You guys know my house is very vibrant. So, yeah, the smell is very important, Letitia. Yeah, they just be doing it like, you know, you can have a room that it smells like urine. You're like, oh my gosh, a room full of peonies? Yes, they do not smell good at all. No, no, no. So yes, these are gorgeous, and then these are gonna go in my bride's bouquet tomorrow. So these are really, really tight right now, and it's really there are different types of roses, different ways you can open them up, but I don't know if these are even worth trying to flex or anything. These are more like tea roses, so I'm just gonna let them be great. I don't really need them to get that big anyway, so it'll be okay. Yes, these are amazing. I love them. So that is my little lesson for tonight, you guys. That is how you handle a crisis. Don't, appear nervous. Don't blow it up to be more than what it actually is. Don't, oh my God, what are we gonna do? Like, no, don't do that. Just be calm, stay in faith. Don't allow the spirit of fear. Oh, this is a big one. I forgot to tell you this. A big one is to always envision the outcome being in your favor. So don't envision failure at all. I don't care what God got to do. All I know is this is going to work out in my favor. And that is always my approach when, I'm working an event and I'm starting to get, some pushback or some things that are happening that are not favorable. I always imagine the outcome being exactly what I envisioned it to be. I'm not going to give a place to negative thoughts in my mind, in my heart, in my spirit. I'm just not going to do that. Candace, please send these tips to me because I might delete this video. Because I think it's some good stuff in here and add some more to it. So Candace, email those to me, babe. So always imagine, because you guys know, like I'm just talking out of my heart, off the top of my head, what God has just dropped in my spirit. I don't have a script. I have no clue. I don't even know if people have ever talked about, how do you handle a crisis, because it happens to all of us. It's not just because you're a newbie or you don't know what you're doing. You can be the best planner in the world. But if Amazon don't deliver your package, there is not a thing in the world that you can do to get that package to you, except, just believe by faith and continue to move forward in whatever you're trying to achieve in the end goal. So, and don't dwell on that moment. You can be as amazing as you can possibly be, and things can still happen. You can plan way in advance and things can still happen. You can order flowers 2 months ago and things can still happen. So don't ever beat yourself up. Don't you throw the towel in. Don't say I'm quitting. I'm not cut out for this. No, that's just the enemy trying to get you to stop pushing and doing what God has declared and decreed for you to do. So those are my tips of how you handle a crisis. And I tell you what, at the end, it will always be exactly what it was supposed to be. I promise you that. I can promise you that. It will end up being exactly what it was supposed to be. So now I'm going to take just like 2 or 3 minutes to answer a few questions. I think I just saw one where they asked if my husband and I were side pastors or something like that, or co-pastors. My husband is a pastor. I am not in the ministry. I am just his wife. I've told him, I'm in the ministry, but I'm not like a co-pastor or Lady Melanie or anything like that. I'm just Melanie, Miss Turner, the same thing I was when I married him back in 2012. I just, I don't know. Here's my thing about being called like lady or first lady. To me, and I love reading the Bible, but I love reading the Bible, but there is not one scripture that I have found in the Bible that refers to a first lady being in office that God established in the kingdom. He said there were some pastors, some apostles, some prophets, some teachers, some preachers, some evangelists, and administrators. I think it was 7 of them. So pastors, prophets, apostles, teachers, preachers, administrators, and one more. Is it elders? Anyway, at any rate, those were the 7 offices. Not one of those said first lady, a co-pastor, or any of that. So that is my personal belief. I just do what God places in my heart, and that's just me. And I don't want people to think I'm being disrespectful or anything like that. I just don't want to step into any sphere that God has not, evangelist. I don't want to step into any sphere that God has not ordained. And that's just me. And I don't care what it is. It could be any role. It could be the role of a pastor or whatever. I don't want to be in any sphere that God has not ordained and equipped me to be in. So that's that. Okay. Let's see here. A few questions. Top chat. So the Lux Academy is continuous now. I don't know when I'll offer another live session. I'm going to do some in-person sessions. My next one is in November. In terms of Lux Academy online, it's more self-facilitated right now. I don't know if I'll do another cohort where I'm facilitating all of the sessions, because that is a huge commitment, and that's why I took the time to just kind of film them all, because it's hard to meet everyone's schedule. But I'm always available to answer questions as needed. Okay, you guys, let's see. I'm so glad you're here, you too, Eula. Sidra said, Melanie, you should do a floral design workshop. I have a whole floral class in Lux Academy. I'm glad you enjoyed the live, Tracy. I got a whole floral class in Lux Academy, y'all. What flower shops did you recommend? It depends in whatever region you're in. Like, I just can't say these are the things, because it really, honestly, it differs in every region. I think somebody else asked me a question, like, what are my top 3 favorite flowers? If you're still on here, comment and let me know. But that's it, y'all. Be sure to go check out my last video I just posted. It was sponsored by Venus, but I love their clothes, and I've been wearing their clothes for a long time. Very comfortable, very cute. And so if you like my fashion content, definitely go and check it out. Okay, so Tracy, my top 3 favorite flowers would probably be garden roses, tea roses, and hydrangeas. And I love ranunculus, and I also like peonies, but I don't like the way peonies smell. Okay, Tracy, so I think I just answered your question. Is there room in the November class? Yes, there is a few more seats left in the November class. Shakandra, I think there's probably 3 or 4 seats left in the November class. So yeah. And I'm not one of the ones that be like, you know, oh, you get a chance, check out Flowerwood, Nursie, and Loxy. Girl, how far is Loxy from me, honey? Let me see. I'm so glad you caught me live too. Ooh, child. Loxley is way too far from me. But maybe they can send some stuff. Maybe they can ship. We'll have to see. It's in Baldwin County. In terms of planning a large scale event, what are some of the cheapest centerpieces you can use? Great question. I have a video coming up on it next week. So stay tuned. Okay, I'll check them out, Dolores. Email that information to me because y'all know how my head is. I will forget. Are you going to do a class online for free? I do free classes on Amazon, and then I do have some free classes on in Lux Academy, but I have like maybe two. I don't know. What class you talking about, honey, for free? Is this the issue? Candles are not cheap. With your sister's wedding, is royal blue, white, and something? I don't know. I don't know, sweetie. I would say start collecting silk flowers. That's what I would say. And I'm glad I did that a year ago. Hey, Aunt Shirley. I'm glad I started collecting silks years ago, actually. But I really started to invest in those now. The real life kind of silk. And they expensive. They're more expensive than live. They're like $7.99 a stem. If you can get a good price on them, they can be like $4 or $5.99. Yeah, so basically, Shaquana, for the free lives, it's like the things that I do live on Amazon are not things that I teach in Lux Academy at all. Lux Academy is more or less like everything that you need to start your business up from start to finish. And then I just do a lot of like side classes and things like that using items that I purchased on Amazon. That's probably the best way I can sum that up. You're so welcome, Pamela. Thank you, Dolores. Okay, you guys, so if you don't have any more questions, I'm going to end tonight's live. If you're watching the replay, I hope that you find this information useful. Be sure to watch and listen carefully because it may not be up forever. I may be doing something else with the content because oh, awesome. Herlacia said, I don't believe I've actually caught a live. Yes. Good night, Juliet, darling. Somebody already placed our scripture in the comments. So you know what we love to say. You're so welcome, Pamela. It will be special, but just start collecting a little bit at a time. You really can't tell one from the other if you do it the right way. So many of my events would be like 50-50. 50 fresh, 50 live, and you guys never know. You'll never know. What was I gonna say? I have one more thing to say. Oh, I'm going to sleep early tonight because we have to get started early in the morning, and I have some things that I have to do. So sometimes when you're planning and you're in a crisis, getting sleep is it's imperative. So staying up all night does not help. You just need to rest your body, rest your mind, allow God to visit you in the night season to give you a witty invention or a creative idea or a way to solve the problem. So tonight we are going to bed early. We got our little, I think this is probably 18 roses here, which is more than enough for my bouquet tomorrow. And I'm excited about it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so yeah, we got our little 18 roses here. And we are good to go. And I'm excited about it because these were like finding gold this week. So I'm very, very excited about it. If you guys have not joined my Amazon store, you definitely need to just go to Google, type in Living Luxuriously for Less Amazon store, or you can go to any one of my videos and you'll see the link to the Amazon store down in the description box. That's how you know when I go live on Amazon. I'm always sharing, teaching. Last week we did, or Tuesday we did a balloon arch. Next week we're going to probably do how to set up a buffet table or a candy bar together. Who knows? Or we may, I don't know what we may do. I don't know, but it's whatever it is, it's going to be good. It's going to be insightful, and it's going to be impactful. So love you guys. You guys have a great night. I am going to enjoy some water out of my YouTube water bottle. And, I hope you guys enjoyed the live this week. How many of you guys were on that live? It needs to be a little bit colder. So I hope you guys enjoyed the live this week. Did you enjoy it? Did y'all enjoy it? It was great. Awesome. So y'all have to go check all that out. Check it all out. Go to my website and sign up so that you will know about the free classes and all that stuff. Have to put that in the freezer so it can get colder. So we're done for the night, y'all. I love you guys. God bless you guys. May his face shine upon all of you. I pray Proverbs 3:24 over each of you. When thou liest down, when thou liest down, thou shalt not be afraid. When thou liest down, thy sleep will be sweet in Jesus' name. So you guys might just want to turn your notification bells on, because I may go live at the event tomorrow. Okay? I may go live at the event tomorrow to show you guys some behind the scenes stuff. So stay tuned. Good night, y'all. Bye.